Hi everyone, and welcome back to My Dad and Liam. I'm Liam.
And I'm the dad, Arthur. We're son and father duo from London who have called the beautiful chaos of Indonesia our second home for the last 20 years.
A massive thank you to our founder, Aisha, for making all of this happen. If this is your first time joining us, we'd be so grateful if you could take a moment to subscribe, like, comment, and share. It really helps our small channel grow.
Just a small note before we begin. Everything we discuss here is purely our personal opinion, based on our own experiences. We sincerely apologize for any inaccuracies, mistakes, or if we accidentally say something that causes offense. That is never our intention.
Exactly. You might also notice that there's no video and no pictures of us, just a yellow and black vintage television. That's on purpose. We feel it's a more comfortable and personal way to just talk and listen, without any distractions. For our international friends, subtitles are available. Click CC to select your language. So, grab a cup of tea or coffee, and let's get into it. You know, Dad, whenever someone asks me what it's like to get around in Indonesia, I never know where to begin. It's not one single experience, is it? It's like 3 or 4 different countries rolled into one.
That's an astute observation. You can't compare the experience of getting around in the capital with, say, the chaos of a tourist island or the rhythm of another provincial city. Each has its own unique flavor of organized chaos.
Exactly. Let's start with the beast itself, Jakarta. I was there for meetings last week, got stuck in traffic on Jalan Sudirman, the usual story. But what's fascinating now is how the city is actively fighting back against the macet. I took the MRT.
The underground marvel. What was that like? Does it compare to the tube back home?
It's like the tube's younger, cleaner, and much more polite cousin. Seriously, it's shockingly efficient. The floors are spotless, everyone queues patiently, the air conditioning is a blessing, and there are crisp, clear announcements. For a moment, you forget you're in one of the most congested cities on Earth. It feels orderly, almost un-Indonesian in its quiet efficiency.
I've tried the other solution, the busway system, Transjakarta, a red carpet for buses running on their own dedicated lanes, elevated above the traffic. A brilliant idea, though getting to the elevated platforms can be a small pilgrimage in itself.
Yeah, the last mile problem.
Precisely. You can have this wonderfully modern train or bus, but you still need to solve the puzzle of getting from the station to your actual destination. And that's where the old kings of the road come back into play.
The legions in the green jackets, the ride-hailing at motorbikes. They are the connective tissue. You step out of the pristine MRT station, back into the heat and humidity, and summon a motorcycle to take you down the final winding alleyways.
So even in the most modern version of Indonesia, the chaos and the order have to coexist. Fascinating. Now, that entire model is a world away from what you see in Bali, isn't it?
A completely different universe. Bali runs on private transport. It's the kingdom of the rented scooter.
And good God, the scooter situation. It is a terrifying spectacle. You see tourists who, I suspect, have never ridden anything more powerful than a bicycle wobbling down a busy street. They're bright red from sunburn, wearing nothing but shorts and flip-flops. No helmet, or a helmet perched on their head like a useless plastic party hat.
It's a recipe for disaster.
It gives my British sense of health and safety a severe, full-body shudder. They look like they're trying to tame a wild animal.
And this is a really important public service announcement for anyone listening who's planning a trip to Bali. It looks like fun, and it can be, but you must be sensible and legal. You can't just use your driving license from home. You need a proper international driving permit with a motorcycle endorsement.
A fact I imagine most of them are conveniently unaware of.
Precisely. And even then, the roads here are unpredictable. Our strong advice is be a passenger first. Use the ride-hailing apps for a while. Understand the flow of traffic before you even think about driving in it yourself. Don't become a statistic.
And this obsession with two-wheeled transport in Bali and elsewhere connects to another thing, the general reluctance to walk anywhere.
The culture of not walking. It's a huge difference from Europe.
It is. I once saw a man get on his motorcycle, start it up, just to go to the little shop at the end of his street, not 100 meters away. Initially, I was baffled, but then you experience it. A 5-minute walk in this climate, and you need another shower.
Not a good look.
And then there's the challenge of the pavements, the trottoir. They are an adventure in themselves, a minefield of broken tiles, sudden drops, parked motorcycles, and street food carts. Often the road is genuinely the safer place to be, so the motorbike becomes the logical choice for every journey, no matter how short.
It's a perfect adaptation to the environment. So we have the Jakarta model with its emerging modern transit and the Bali model with its scooter culture. But then there's the third ecosystem, which is what you find in many other cities.
Ah, the classics, the mighty uncaught, the shared minibus with music so loud the windows vibrate. And my personal favorite, the Becak, the cycle rickshaw.
Oh, you love the Becak.
I do. My first time in one was a revelation. This elderly gentleman pedaling me along at a snail's pace. There's no engine noise, just the sound of the city, the friendly chatter from the driver. It's the most wonderfully inefficient and human way to travel. It's the polar opposite of the MRT, but just as valid in its own context.
So when you put it all together, the high-tech MRT, the scooter snakes in Bali, the humble Becak, what's the final analysis?
It all comes down to trust. In London, you trust the system, the signals, the timetable, the engineering. It's a cold, anonymous trust. You don't make eye contact on the tube. Here, in every ecosystem, you trust a person. You trust the motorcycle driver to get you through the machet safely. You trust the Becak driver. You trust the thousands of other drivers in the chaotic symphony not to hit you. It's a transportation network built on millions of individual human interactions. It's noisy, it's inefficient, it's often frustrating, but my word, it is profoundly and beautifully alive.
A beautiful, noisy, complicated dance. I couldn't agree more. And that's all the time we have for today. We hope that gave you a little taste of life in Indonesia. We're always looking for new ideas for what to talk about next.
That's right, so please leave us a comment below. What topics about Indonesia would you like to hear us discuss next? Culture, food, daily life, funny stories? Let us know.
Thanks so much for listening to My Dad and Liam. We'll talk to you next time.